Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads with me. Dear Jesus, we thank you so much for this day and for this evening, Lord, that who could gather here tonight and those listening in online. Pray that you bless each one and those who are, all of us who are trying to serve our community at the best of our ability, that you would bless us with wisdom and that you would bless us with discernment, wise discernment as we're making decisions, Lord. Pray that you would be with all those in first responders and military and any government positions or leaderships in our community, Lord. We're just so thankful for all those who are willing to serve, and we pray your blessing upon them. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'd like to call a meeting to order. Before we get into the agenda, a couple things tonight. First and foremost, let's remember Jean Northern and her family in our prayers. Due to her passing, her visitation will be on Sunday from 1 to 6. And express our condolences to Dylan Geiger on the loss of his father-in-law the other night. So now we'll get into the business. We've got 3 sets of minutes to approve. We've got the minutes from the budget meetings of August 18th, August 19th. You should have all received a copy of them in your packet. Had a chance to review them.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion from Kim to approve the minutes from August 18th and August 19th, 2025 budget.
Second.
Second by Joe. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Then we've got the approval of the minutes from the October 9th meeting, which a couple of corrections have been made. Lynn pointed a couple of things out, and Rachel did too. The corrections have been made in the minutes to reflect the accuracy of them. So
I'll make a motion to approve.
a motion by Kathy to approve the October 9th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
Second by Dylan. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Cheryl, you're up. Cheryl's here representing the sheriff tonight.
Took away my first line, Tony. Yeah, he was not able to be here tonight, so I'm here to present our agenda items. The first 2 items that we're presenting for approval are appropriation adjustments for checks that the county received from our auto insurance company as payment for claims for damaged vehicles. The payments have been receipted into the county vehicle insurance replacement fund, and now we just need to appropriate them into the sheriff's insurance replacement fund so that we can pay for repairs and new vehicles. Did you want me to go through each one of those separately? There were 2 separate checks that were
Now,
submitted.
we can do them together, just need the amounts we brought out.
Okay, the first one was for $1,000, and that was a deductible reimbursement because the other party was at fault, so they reimbursed our deductible that we had to pay also. And the second check was for $27,767, and that was for a sheriff's vehicle that was totaled. So that was a payout from our insurance company on that.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Any questions for Cheryl? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Joe, second by
Lynn.
Dylan. Any further discussion? All those in favor? And then your last thing is commissary report.
Right. In the past, we've just presented the commissary report twice a year, and now we have moved to a quarterly reporting. So this will be our 3rd quarter commissary report, but we were not able to present this at the October meeting. So the sheriff chose to go ahead and add October to the 3rd quarter report, that extra month, so it would reflect a more accurate accounting of where commissary is at this point. So the report that you have is for July through October.
Okay.
And then our 4th quarter report will just include November and December. So I'm open to any questions or comments you have. I know it's a new format compared to what we've had in the past. In July, we started a new web-based commissary account system. Oh, they don't have it printed.
Because of the thickness, yes. Okay.
Okay.
I just saw you ran it with.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you didn't have it in there, so.
Yeah.
But electronically only. As a entry.
Okay. So it included all of the same information as in the past. It was just in a different format. The ledgers look different but it's on State Board of Accounts approved forms.
Right.
So,
So as you
I don't
well know, the legislatures last year changed the reporting on that due to some potential issues around some sheriff's offices around the state to require them to give us a quarterly report on it to make sure that everything is accurate and up to date. May I have
And
any
we-
questions for Cheryl on the commissary report?
so moved.
Got a motion by Kim to approve. Got a second by Dave. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thanks, Cheryl.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Steve. Come on down.
Good evening.
Sir.
I have two things here today. Both of them are same, just different paperwork. I'd like to apply for or request permission to apply for Bridge 145, which is a NOFA call. It's an 820 grant by the Federal Highway, excuse me, that we use every year. This would be for 2031 for construction. And this is for Bridge 145 located on 600 West over Trimble Creek. The total amount would be $3,850,000. This would be the amount total that we would go for the grant. This is total for bridge replacement. Our portion would be $814,000 when it came down to our portion to be paid. That's for CEPE and construction itself.
I'm sorry, what year did you say this was for?
2031.
2031. A little ways down the road yet. Anybody got any questions for Steve regarding this?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion by Delynn to approve Steve applying for this grant.
Second.
A second by Rachel. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thanks, Steve.
Thank you for doing that. That's going to save us a lot of money.
Yes, hopefully we can get it. The second one would be for the financial commitment letter for that, saying that we would be able to be held accountable for our 20%. So I'll need approval for that to apply for it.
So
Move
moved.
to approve.
Motion by Kim to approve, second by Joe. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Okay, thank you very much.
Get us the letter to sign. Okay, that works. Thank you. Marcia.
Good evening. I have two items here for you this evening. The first would be an additional appropriation for $172,000 in the rainy day fund. That is for the engineering consulting from Reese, Janney, and Elsner from Indianapolis. That has to do with the soffit failure at the Justice Building. $69,000 of that is directly attributed to the failure, and the remainder of that amount is for the rest of the building on the north part of the building that we need to review the same type of construction to see what we need to do with that. We are still working with the insurance company on the $69,000, but we haven't worked clear through that to know if that's going to be possible or not.
And so the 69,000 could change and be less,
Yes,
but currently that's where we stand.
that's where we stand right now.
And is this the engineering of it or is it total of fixing of it?
This just gets us to the fixing part. This is the exploratory part to
Okay.
open it up and see where we're at with the rest of the part of the building. The 69,000 is fixing the soffit failure because we know what has to be done there because we've already the engineers have reviewed it and forensic engineers have reviewed it, and this is where we're at. So once we get through this part of it, then we will get quotes to actually do the work.
And these funds are requested to come out of rainy day, which is money that we haven't touched in 5 years probably. So it's sitting there for emergency purposes like this.
Do we have any idea whether insurance is going to cover any of it or not?
They've already paid $16,000 of that. That was that day, the initial engineers and the assessment that was done originally. But I do not know yet if they're going to pay any of that $69,000. They denied it at first, but we are going back to them and asking for reconsideration.
Any kind of engineering estimates on what it's gonna cost?
Not at this time.
I do believe the commissioners wanted to be proactive on this and have the funds available. Should we go ahead with things that they're available and we'll have to delay any progress for fixing? Any further questions for Marcia?
I'm just gonna mention, I believe that there's definitely funds in the rainy day fund to cover it. Because there's like.
Oh, yeah, there's like $3.4
$3.4
million.
million in rainy day fund.
We don't ask this lightly, but it's
Yeah,
something
no,
that
I
has
know.
to
I
be
just
done.
thought it'd be good to get that out there.
Yeah.
Anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion by Kathy to approve the additional appropriation of $172,000 from the rainy day fund.
Second.
Got a second from Delenn. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Next up is a transfer in the amount of $30,000. It's in the CCD Land and Improvements, and this will go into legal services. We will run out of money in that line item due to a lot of economic development matters that have had to see legal consulting. That included contract review, the data center, slate, and a few other items that had to have extra work done that we don't normally have in a year's time. So we're asking for the transfer. The money is there to transfer, but if you'll remember in the 2026 budget in edit, there is an line item for legal consulting for $45,000 that was approved, but we don't have anything like that this year to pay those items out of. So it's had to come out of the regular line item for legal services.
Okay. Any questions for Marcia on that? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Kathy to approve the $30,000 transfer of money that they already have in the account, just moving it from lands and improvements to legal services.
Second.
A second from Joe. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
That's all I have. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Brad Bowles, K-Code. You should all have a copy of the K-Code budget in your packet.
Thank you. Good evening. Introduce you to please Heidi Blake. She's the coordinator for KCOBE. I thought if I could take a minute tonight to give a little more color and explanation of what KCODE does, so it's more than just 5 letters to everyone. I have a little presentation to give, a prepared statement. So once I'm finished with this, Heidi will step up, give you some more details about some things that I've said and answer any of your questions. So KCODE stands for the Kosciuszko Coalition on Drug Education. It's a collaboration of professionals in all walks of life in our community, including schools, healthcare, law enforcement, rehabilitation and recovery, judicial, probation, prosecutor, reentry court, JCAT, KCRP, community corrections, and others. Through the effort and inspiration of leaders like Heidi and Tammy Cotton and Joe Hahn, we are a vibrant and thriving organization. We meet for lunch once a month to share ideas and methods on how we can all better cooperate to address substance abuse issues in our community. We frequently have more than 30 people at our meetings. Our KCODE is so good, in fact, that a representative from the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute recently attended our meeting to learn the secret of our success, and we're being held out as a model for other communities to follow. Another part of KCODE's mission is to distribute grant money, mostly funded by the ICJI, to organizations involved in recovery from addiction or enforcement of drug laws. To be eligible to receive money, an organization that applies must be a year-round active participant. Upon receiving applications, KCODE has a separate committee which decides how to distribute the limited funds. That money passes through the prosecutor's budget, so we're here tonight to ask for your approval and oversight of this year's distribution. Heidi will talk to you now about some more details.
Thank you so much to Brad. He stole a little bit of my thunder, but really excited to be here and just share a little bit. So all 92 counties are mandated by the state statute to have a local coordinating council. So again, KCODE's the local coordinating council for Kosciuszko County. We've been around for over 30 years. And as Brad said, Kosciuszko County is going to be featured in a report for representing Northeast Indiana for the entire state because of our work with our local coordinating council. And it's really exciting at every meeting to be able to see the collaboration and sharing and hearing about everything that's happening. But as well as hearing about some of the gaps and ways that we can provide more services in our community. Just wanted to briefly highlight one of our projects. So we do oversee the drug take back program for Kosciuszko County for prescription medication. In the most recent collection, we collected 891 pounds of prescription medication. And since 2021, we have collected over 7,000 pounds of prescription medication. So that's medication that's not lingering in households, medicine cabinets, vehicles, nightstands, and literally saving lives right here in Kosciuszko County. And again, happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I'm familiar with K-Code. I was a part of it for a long time. But it was brought to my attention recently. And so I'm just going to ask the question. When you guys have your meetings, does K-Code pay for the lunches for all the attendees?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And what kind of money are we talking about on that?
So it depends on how many attendees are coming. So it's anywhere, I would say, between $800 to $1,100. And I have cleared that with the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute to make sure that that's an allowable expense in our budget. And that part comes out of the coordinators fund.
And that's per year or per month?
For
The amount of money.
I would say 800 to 1,000, depending on how many people are at the meeting.
Each month.
Yes. Mhm.
I just know when I was a part of it, you either brought your own lunch or you didn't eat.
Right, but that, I would say back, when I first started attending K-Code over 10 years ago, there were honestly, I would say 5 to 8 people that would attend the meetings. And now we have anywhere between 25 and 35 people. And again, I have checked with the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute to make sure that that's an allowable expense, and they have assured me that it is.
And I understand that, but if you have a budget of $88,000, you're spending more than 10% of that on food. And that's valid.
Yes, and honestly, I do not receive the salary that the prior coordinators have received through K-Code, so that the money comes out of the coordinators fund.
Thank you for answering that. Anybody have any questions for Heidi or Brad while they're here? If not, I would entertain a motion on their budget for a total of $88,000 for the year of 2026 to be provided by K-Code and the awards as presented.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Delynn Geiger. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Last time, do I have a second? Currently, the motion died because of a lack of second. If you'd wish to provide more information to us, we can revisit again at our December meeting. Thank you. Rob Bishop.
Good evening. So about 3 weeks ago, we received word from MACOG that there was a possibility of an accelerator grant for the trail system. So the purpose of an accelerator grant is to do the work that allows you to then apply for the big money grant to actually build a trail system. So in this case, it's a $20,000 grant where we would have a $20,000 required match. Tell you how short of a timeline we are under. The deadline is tomorrow to get this in. So again, we have done it as fast as we could based upon when we heard it was available. The commissioners approved this at their meeting last Tuesday. Since that period of time, we started reaching out to people, and we already have commitments of $7,500 of the required $20,000 match. The commissioners were clear they did not want us using tax dollars for this, and we understand that. However, it's still necessary to get your approval, even though we don't believe we're going to be using tax dollars through it. The selected focus of this is the proposed trail to go from Winona Lake to Pierceton. I can tell you we have letters of support from Winona Lake. We have a letter of support from Pearston, and Pearston has allocated $5,000 to the required $20,000. We have a number of other letters of support. I think this is something the community is very much behind. So if we get the grant, when we're done, we're gonna know where the trail's gonna go and what it's gonna cost us to build it, to allow us to go get another grant to then start actually building trail. So I request your permission to proceed.
So Rob, getting our permission tonight to proceed with that, there's probably not enough time to get a letter drafted to give to you, so could be reflected in our minutes that you got that approval. Would that suit the grant?
The application requires a letter of approval from the commissioners, and we have that letter already drafted.
Okay.
So we'll try to get Commissioner Groninger on board to get that signed tomorrow, and then we'll get it emailed into the Indiana Department of Health. The Indiana Department of Health was one of the sponsors of our original master plan. Some of the money that was transferred in from Winona Lake to complete that came from the Department of Health. So they're very much on board to help us now actually start building stuff after they've been helping us with planning.
Okay.
So you said you have, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. There was somebody who's willing to put 7,000 and then Pearson is willing to put 5,000. Is that what you
The
said?
Community Foundation has allocated
Community
2,500, which is the most they can do out of cycle. And then Pearson is in for 5,000. I think in a week and 2 days, that's not too bad.
So you're not going to use taxpayer money no matter what. So if you get this grant, you don't get the $20,000 as the match, then.
Then we won't be able to go forward because I'm pretty confident we don't have the vote from the commissioners to use tax money, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
A motion by Kathy to approve applying for the grant. Second by Kim. Any further discussion?
Yeah, is the proposal to go out Worcester Road or out Pearson Road, or is it too early to tell?
The current plan is to go out Worcester down Washington. Pearston would like to actually go through the bog, because that would be a beautiful section of trail. But as we found when we did Chinworth, once we started looking at it, we wanted to be on the south side, and that simply wasn't really feasible in that stretch. So that's part of what this study is all about.
Any other questions?
So what would be the plans are you just going to do fundraising to get the rest, or what's the plan to raise more funds?
There are a number of organizations that will help out in this. We certainly have reached out to K21. There's a DECO Foundation. There's a Greenways Foundation. We did start, as you may recall, the Friends of the Park idea, which is a organization through the Community Foundation. We actually have money there that we would like to use for other purposes, but we can use that as well. There's currently 10,000 sitting in that account. So if we had to, we actually are at 17,500.
Great. Amy,
Anything else for Rob?
did you have a
We're
comment?
simply voting on whether or not they can apply for this grant. This
Yes.
isn't giving
Yeah.
approval
Yeah.
for it.
That is correct.
If we got the grant and we got it all done, and then we wanted to go actually do this and build the trail, we'd have to come back and get more permissions.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve in a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
And while Rob's standing right there, Rob's appointment to the Parks Board is up the end of next year, or the end of this year. And he has stated that he would like to serve again. So when we do appointments at next month's meeting, keep in mind that Rob would like to serve another term on the Parks Board.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you, Rob. Eric.
Good evening.
Hi, Eric.
I'm here tonight to ask for permission to apply for the 2026 court reform grant. We're asking for $44,000 or for $40,000. This would go towards Judge McGrath's courtroom. I want to use her courtroom as get her all set up, and we're getting new speakers, it's a new technology overhaul. It's long overdue. Some of the stuff in there is original when the building was built. So we're trying to streamline and improve things in the courtroom. So we'd like to start with her. So the commissioners already approved this, and I just need your blessing.
Is this a reimbursement grant or do we spend it and then they give it to us?
I think it's a reimbursement. So, the request is for 40,000 and we'd cover the rest out of our hardware budget next year.
Judge, do you have any input on that?
You know, actually, Judge Bauer kindly gave me a little grief, like, why am I special? Why my courtroom? It wasn't my pick. IT decided. Our circular courtrooms are particularly problematic, so that's mine and also Judge Bueller's courtroom. And I think just because of the nature of the cases that I hear, there's a lot of opportunity for utilizing better technology in my courtroom, and it's a good guinea pig place to start with some better technology. And just as far as, for example, I have a real important hearing with Rob tomorrow, and he intends to use what we have to project some information on the screens. And I honestly, as I stand here right now, don't know if it's going to work. And that's very typical in these courtrooms. We don't know from day to day. It could be in the middle of a jury trial, it could be in the middle of, you know, whatever other important business is happening. So whatever efforts IT is expending and trying to expend on our behalf to make this more seamless and also open up some other opportunities for using technology in really meaningful, more efficient ways, it's much appreciated.
Yeah, we're just trying to simplify things like Judd was saying, like they try to do wireless presentations and it's funky and
doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work a lot. So we're just trying to simplify things. We've gone to other counties and looked at their courtrooms and we're trying to do our due diligence on this as well. So
Thank you, Judge, for your input.
thank you.
And Eric, it is an advanced grant. So just so you know, I found it. Thank you.
All right, any more questions for Eric?
I move to approve this
A
request.
motion by Joe to approve the request to apply for the grant in the amount of $40,000.
Second.
Got a second by Delenn. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Thank you, Eric.
Appreciate it.
Redevelopment Commission.
Good evening. I haven't had the pleasure of presenting before, so I'm Doug Haynes, for those of you who don't know me, the president of the Redevelopment Commission. I'm joined with by Don Miller, who's the president of Claypool Town Board, as well as Chris Harrison from Commonwealth Engineers. So this evening, I'd like to talk about an important infrastructure project at Claypool that directly impacts the economic impact and the community sustainability. The Redevelopment Commission has voted to approve this, and I'm here recommending the project to County Council. Claypool's wastewater system is outdated and currently under an IDEM agreed order. And if the town of Claypool doesn't act, they risk losing housing opportunities as well as even the local elementary school. The economic growth in Claypool is being held back because the sewer system is at 90% capacity as it sits today. And during heavy rains, it's at 310% of capacity because of wastewater infiltration. So some key facts. Louis-Dreyfus is the single largest user, whether it be industrial or of any other type, consuming about 60,000 gallons per month of the capacity, which represents 12% of the entire system's load. Claypool has secured, the town has secured currently 2.3 million in grants and state funding, but the total project cost is 4.5 million, which leaves a gap that the town needs to fill. Currently, the residents are facing sewer costs alone of $100 a month for 4,000 gallons, which is on a monthly basis. The current capacity of the sewage treatment plant is it 34,000 gallons?
33,000.
33 gallons, 600. But after the successful expansion, they'll be able to handle 56 gallons. Now that's on a daily basis. So Alyssa is currently working with the State Board of Accounts as well as Baker Tilly to make sure that if the council approves that the monies are dispersed most efficiently and compliant. should you approve. So what we're asking is the redevelopment commission chose to redirect $176,000 that had been previously earmarked for a ditch improvement within the Louis Dreyfus TIF district. But Jim, our surveyor, has indicated that he can source other funds for that ditch project. So we are reallocating that $176,000 and then adding an additional $74,000 to bring it to a total of $250,000 that the redevelopment commission wants to provide or support to the sewer system upgrade. The current balance in the TIF district, the Louis Dreyfus TIF district, is $478,000. And the funding will go towards major infrastructure improvements, not maintenance, and will benefit the entire TIF area. The improving the sewer system opens the door for housing developments and helps to stabilize school enrollment, and it supports businesses like Louis Dreyfus. So this is about positioning Claypool for the long term and compliance with the state mandate. So I'll ask Chris if you want to add or Don.
Thank you for the opportunity to share tonight. And I've been a resident of Claypool for 44 years. And we've kind of gotten down in the ditch when it came to our utilities. And so as Doug has talked about, we were at capacity and we are under an order. And I'm very fortunate to have been able to step into the process here just in the last year and a half to try to help things along. And so I look at this as not just getting by or subsistence, but a step forward for our future in the town of Claypool. We appreciate our small community, but we also are looking ahead. I believe that we are part of a valuable part of our greater community in Kosciuszko County, and we want to be a part of that. So I appreciate the council's consideration for our needs. We have pulled funds from a number of different places to try to make this happen. Obviously, it has to happen, and to do so, we're trying to alleviate the load for our community, for our residents, because it has taken a significant toll. So to make our system equipped, this is essential, and we're stepping forward for development. As Doug has said, we have some plans in the works, hopefully that will begin to develop soon for more housing, but it'll be essential that we have the system in place to do so. And we have sold the water department to American Water Company in 2023, excuse me. So we had committed some of our redevelopment money from that sale, which came in far short. In fact, a deficiency or no money came in for 2025. That was supposed to have been allocated. That was going to be part of our town's match. So we're committing that total amount from that redevelopment commission or redevelopment area of the water system for the long term to pay back our SRF loan. So I'm trying to think what else I could add to that, but just appreciate the opportunity to bring it before you, and we appreciate the efforts from the redevelopment commission to bring it to this place. So, and for many of the community leaders here in Kosciuszko County that have been just stellar in their help over the last couple of years since I've been around. So thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Hi, everyone. Chris Harrison with Commonwealth Engineers. One of the key focal points with the community is their wastewater treatment plant and their collection system. It is a cornerstone for the future growth of the community as a whole. And I really want to evaluate and give you an update on the 3 pillars that we were looking at when we're looking at the design of this new system. One's upgrading the sewage plant to meet all of the effluent limits requirements that's placed upon the town. The other one is identifying improvements in the collection system. And the third is trying to eliminate this huge I&I issue the community has. As Doug mentioned, it's a 310% increase. So if you have a design flow of 33,000 gallons, you're pushing over 104,000 gallons through that little sewage plant. It's not capable of doing that. So those are the three pillars that we looked at in our initial design to improve the wastewater system within the town of Claypool. The problem that we're having is that we have a small customer base, 185 customers. To disperse those disbursements on a monthly basis is running into roughly $100 a month bill. So any improvements, any grant funding that we can have, any redevelopment is going to look at buying down that rate base and helping the residents within that community. With that, any technical questions I can answer for you if you have any.
So in other words, you're expecting the cost to the residents to go down.
We wanted to, absolutely. Yes.
Are they currently paying $100 or?
No, so Kathy, the council, a year ago, they stepped into a 3-phase rate increase.
Okay.
So the initial had the rate increase. Right now, they're currently paying $76 per month per 4,000 gallons. Now, the average user typically doesn't use 4,000, typically around 2,800 to 3,500.
Okay.
But as far as funding agencies, we look at that 4,000 mark. Now, once all the phases are in, it's going to be right at the $100 a month. So any assistance from the council here is going to help pay down those rates.
Do you have a time frame that you're looking at for the project to be started to completion type thing in mind?
So we did have our groundbreaking last week. You were there. Absolutely beautiful day for it. So we're looking about a year process for the project to be completed.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Now with that, the funding for the collection system and the stormwater, we're looking at trying to maximize those resources as best we can, basically televising the system and then identifying either point repairs or larger repairs within those collection and stormwater improvements as needed.
The 176,000 that's going to be reallocated, does that mean you will not be reconstructing the drain that it was originally going to be used
There's
for?
a portion of the drain that is being reconstructed within the project. We've identified that as one of the stormwater projects. It's not going to be the entire drain portion down Kaufman into the farmer's field. That is something that the drainage boards will have to take a look at down in the future.
Any other questions?
Comment at the picture of the paddleboarder going by the picnic table won me over.
Yeah, Dave, that's a great win, right? You have a resident and once you knock on the door and they start communicating, they'll come up with, hey, this is actually what's going on. And this resident, this is Prater, to be honest with you, says, I got a picture of my kids paddleboarding, trying to get things out of the yard in the potentially contaminated water. That's not where we want to be.
Well played.
Yes.
Well, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
So we got a motion by Kathy to approve allocating $250,000 out of the Louis Dreyfus TIF toward the wastewater improvements for the town of Claypool and the surrounding area, including Louis Dreyfus, correct?
Yes.
We got a second by Kim for that. Do you have any other further discussion?
Something that I just wanted to shake up.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the funding, and I think Doug touched on it just a little bit. We are trying to find the correct funding path. We're working with Baker Tilly and the State Board of Accounts to figure out the lawful and legal way to get these funds to them. So you approving it tonight is fabulous. It's a big first step. And I will continue to work with the State Board of Accounts and the Claypool folks to make sure that we can get these monies to them in the correct path that's legal and lawful and accepted by the State Board of Accounts.
So we're approving this money based on the fact that it can be legally transferred to cover these funds If not, it'll stay where it's at. And if they want to reallocate back to the cleaning of the ditch, if for some reason comes along, they can come back and ask for that money to be reallocated again.
Good.
Any further questions? Okay, we got a motion to approve by Kathy, a second by Kim. All those in favor? Okay. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you for your time.
Alyssa. As Alyssa is making her way up here, we're going to be looking at our council meeting dates for 2026. I just wanted to bring it up now, so we don't get into the conflict we had the last 2 years. If we change our budget meetings to Monday, Tuesday, then we probably won't be in conflict with the chamber event and have to change our meetings last minute.
Is it on Monday, Tuesday now currently?
It's on Tuesday,
No.
Wednesday now. on
I,
this.
I agree with you. Let's change it to Monday, Tuesday.
Everybody okay with that?
So 17th and 18th.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do we have to make a motion on this?
I was just gonna ask.
Sure. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the council meeting dates and the additional budget meeting dates, the hearing dates, and when we adopt the budget. And with the change of Monday, August 17th and Tuesday, August 18th.
Second.
And we got a motion by Kim to approve the council meeting dates with changing the additional budget meetings to Monday, the 17th and Tuesday, the 18th of October. Got a second by
August.
Rachel, or August rather. Got a second by Rachel. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
Okay, the next thing is, in the matter of the Tippecanoe Chapman Regional Sewer District. Andy Boxberger, inquired about the council appointments to the Tippy Chapman Sewer District. He requested the signed appointment forms for 2023. Our office was able to find that the appointments were made in 2023 by reviewing the minutes. However, we were not able to find the signed certificates from 2023. So tonight, I am asking that you certify and confirm that the council did appoint Kim Hathaway and Jeffrey Thornburg at the December 14th, 2023 council meeting, as it is stated in the minutes, and assign new appointment forms for the record.
This is ratification because the forms that we signed back then haven't been found, so it's just a matter of putting our signature on there. So I don't know that we need a motion since we already did a motion, but we get consensus of everybody that.
I would say
So
that,
moved.
yeah.
So moved.
Okay, we get a motion by Kim, second by Delenn. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
Okay, the next thing on the list is, in the matter of, the CASA, grant funds. The Indiana Supreme Court requires signed documents of the auditor confirming that the council appropriated tax dollars for the express use of the CASA volunteer program. This is the county's portion of a matching grant. And while this amount was mentioned and approved with the 2026 budgets, we are asking for a motion that the Superior 1 and 4 2026 budget was approved by the council and submitted to the DLGF, and that it did include this $24,000 for the expressed use of the local CASA volunteer program for 2026. More specifically, it's Fund 1000, account number 31046, location 43. And I just need you to motion that in the affirmative, that was actually done, which then gives me approval to sign that piece of paper that I provided to you all.
Any questions for Alyssa on that?
I'll say, Aaron,
Aaron, you-
if you have words, come on up.
I always have words. First, I want to apologize for my outfit today. It's not very professional, but we are setting up an airplane hangar at the Warsaw Airport for our fundraising event, and I came from there. So I met with Alyssa and Mr. Ormsby last week, I believe. The grant and the allocation that's before you or has been voted on already, that is something we do annually. We do get some grant funds from the state of Indiana through the Indiana State Office of GA CASA. We are a nonprofit organization. They provide us with two different grants. The one that affects the county would be that matching grant. The county has typically, this has been typically approved through the court budget. And basically, if we don't get that match, we don't get those funds from the state. I typically get a quote somewhere between Q1 and Q2 of what amount will be allocated for us the following year. That is an estimate. Sometimes I don't know the exact amount until further on within the year. They are based on our child in need of service numbers. So as our numbers continue to grow, we're already over 16% more cases than we were last year. The amount will probably grow the next 2 years as well. We can use up to 15% of that match with in-kind that the county provides us, which they do provide us in terms of office space, et cetera. We are appointed to every single of the child in need of services cases, which are all in Judge McGrath's court. And our volunteers donate over 4,000, close to 4,500 hours a year, which saves the county the funds of appointing a GAL attorney and paying them for those services.
Thank
If you have
you.
any
Yeah.
questions.
Any further questions? So we need to make a motion to approve this $24,000 of our county match that was approved for the 26 budget, correct?
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion by Kathy to approve, second by Kim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Aaron.
much. I appreciate the county. Thank you.
Amy? I would ask you to keep it short, but I know it's impossible.
We have great things to talk about, Tony. First, I just wanted to thank you guys for both helping the park board and for Claypool. I will actually send you a video. I did not want to send a video because I didn't want to have you guys think I was pressuring you into making a decision, but I do have a video in my email that highlights the ribbon cutting that happened at Claypool. It is so cool and will make you probably cry, bring you to tears, but I was very cautious about not sending that prior to the meeting. But I'll make sure you get that so you can see all the work being done. Also, had an email that we have $10,000 potentially from the Greenways Foundation. Rob hadn't seen that quite yet because I think it just came to me maybe, as well as Winona Lake is looking at putting quite, I think between 2,500 and 5,000. So I think we have most of the money for that as well, just as if you were worried about that. So, but that is not why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about my quarterly report. So you have that in front of you. We are completely done with all of the brick and mortar projects that we had started in 2022. That was as of the end of September. And so the reporting will be done, or yeah, actually it's November. So the reporting was completed October 31st. So my next quarterly report, all of those reporting the Okra reporting will be completed as well. So, and then we have been working very diligently to move forward those programs. I have one final program, which I'll talk about in a second, and Scott will talk about, and then all of the program reports will be completed as well. So that was 2022 all the way till 2025. So that is a long time to complete projects, but we know that's how that works. And I'm grateful that everybody was kind as they followed along. So any questions about the projects or the report that I had shared with you?
I have one request.
Yes.
Can you make the font larger?
I know, it's
Do
so
you
hard to fit
realize
it on. Well, and honestly.
How old we are?
I know. Well, I can barely see it myself. That happened this year. So I now understand to try to print it on one thing. That's why it gets so tiny. But the other thing I was going to say really quick before I bring Scott up is there will only be one more of these. And then after that, I will be presenting the CAP project Excel, which is it will be a lot bigger because I know that it's hard to see. So I'm going to make that a lot larger from the very start. So thank you, Kim, for saying that. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
I am going to bring Scott. So Scott Green is the teacher that has been tasked with helping move forward our Kosciuszko Student Venture Challenge program. That program is the last program that was highlighted and chosen through the HELP program. That specific program has grown from the first year having 2 schools with 23 students to the second year, 5 schools and 43 students to the final year, not final year, but to this year, being 6 schools and 60 students. So I would have to say that this is a program started by the HELP project that really was necessary and will provide a better future for all the kids. But I'm going to let Scott, who has a lot of energy over here, talk about what it is and what he's doing and how he can make it last for as long as we can. So.
I will receive Amy's warning to keep it brief. This group was challenged out of this grant to really look into the future and to say, I think the question that really came up in a lot of communities was, who's the next Dane Miller? Who's the next person that's going to innovate, that's going to create, that's going to look into the future and to create some things that potentially make this community even more sustainable than what it already is. And it is with great pleasure that I get a report back to you. For the last 2 years, I've had the privilege of sitting with some, I would normally say some of Warsaw's finest, but here's what's interesting. When you look at the kids who have stepped up to the challenge of saying, do you have an idea? Do you have a product? Do you have a service that would serve this community as an entrepreneur? The kids that we got are not the kids that you would expect. The kids that you would expect would be the valedictorians, the kids who are in the top of their class that are crazy involved in everything. But those kids are already so busy, they're working on other people's ideas. Instead, the kids that we got are kids who have really big ideas, who have thoughts on how to change something, on how to innovate, on how to alter what's already being done and to look further into the future. So yesterday, I got to sit with students from Warsaw, Whitko, Wawasee, Tippecanoe Valley, Lakeland Christian. Triton wasn't able to make it yesterday, but we got to sit with about 60 of those kids and to hear the products that they're creating, the services that they're innovating, and the ways that they're changing the future. And it was exciting. We're joined by a guy from Indianapolis, Don Wietrich, who has started an organization called Innovate Within. It's a large organization within the state of Indiana. He runs the largest innovation incubator for students in the state. And he drove up yesterday just to spend time with our students in our community. And I'm telling you what, you should have been proud. You would have been proud had you been there to see these kids and their ideas. And as they leaned into his teaching and instruction and received that, and then we spun them out into small groups for them to share their ideas with one another. It's exciting what's happening. Now, the task that I was given tonight, so I give you the backdrop. The task that I was given tonight is to let you know that this thing is moving way beyond this grant. That actually started a year ago. It's already beyond that. The legacy has outgrown Amy and Steve, who started this. They were tasked with it. There is a steering committee made up of all of the teachers from each of those schools that I mentioned. So that steering committee is in place. The Warsaw Schools and the Career Center have stepped up and said, we will open an account within the school so that that steering committee has the control of that account and oversight of that account. So as funds are raised, they can either be put in that account and be used by that steering team that will have oversight. And we also are still partnering with Believe in a Dream, who helped launch this out of Fort Wayne. They're still on board to help with grants to secure funding and provide governance and oversight as well. So this thing is this is walked the pattern of entrepreneurship over the last couple of years, and I'm happy to report that we are well on our way. So I'm excited that Amy's still going to be involved through the end of the school year. She has graciously offered to help us see the school year through. We're on a school calendar, not necessarily the annual calendar, so that's super helpful, but things are in place, and I would like to invite all of you to our showcase event in the spring. You'll be getting that where the kids actually get to show the fruits of their pitch. And so it would be awesome if you all showed up to say and to see what these kids have done. I think you would be surprised. So I hope that accomplishes our task, and I'm more than willing to answer any questions that you would have.
Anybody have any questions for Scott?
Are you able to share any of these exciting ideas that you're talking about?
Well, do we have an NDA that I could have each of you sign? No. Hey, let me tell you one of my favorites. Let me tell you one of my favorites. Kid came in. We just worked on this yesterday. They have to have a problem statement. Like, what's a problem that they're trying to solve? This kid had been working with his dad crawling under a house to repair a crawl space, and they were putting some screws in. Screws kept falling out of his tool belt, and was frustrated. We'd crawl over him, they'd poke him, he'd reach in his pocket, they'd stab his hand. So this kid goes to Menards, buys a little magnetic, like a $4 magnetic tray that holds screws. He was scooting it under the crawl space, and he kept leaving it in places. So he goes back to Menards, finds a belt clip, screws the belt clip to the bottom of that tray, clips it on his tool belt, and now he crawls underneath the crawl space, right? And he's got the magnetic screws, or he's got the screws there on the magnet, and now he's crawling under the crawl space. He doesn't drop any of these things. Started marketing this as a tool buddy, right? So he goes to the pitch competition, somebody picks this up and was like, that's really interesting, we need to talk. And so this kid is now looking at marketing that. So we've got a couple of our kids have started some unique, if anyone who wants their car detailed, this kid will come to your house and detail your car. Or you could park out right out here on the street. Set up a time, he'll show up, he'll park behind you, detail your car right here on the street. So there's lots of things that these kids are doing that absolutely blow us away.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. You guys are now bound by law, though. You can't use those ideas. Okay?
Don't print that.
Jay.
Yeah. Hey, put your phone away. Write that down. Any other questions?
Anything else?
Thank you guys for your support in investing in kids. Seriously, I get to work with Erin and her team. And so your investment there, but then also your investment in these students, I'm telling you what, it is money well spent, money well spent. So thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
Yep, you bet.
All right, committee reports. Before we start on that, you should all have a list of committees in your packet, or
I do
I
not
only
have
have,
it.
okay, you all get one. What I'd like you to do before the December meeting is review the committees that you're on, see if you want to continue on them. So we have a central repository where we can keep an accurate record of it. Please email your information to Alyssa. And then we can have a central repository to keep track of it, and she can make a list. We do have a whole list of them that are up at the end of 25 that we'll need to go through. So I'll make sure you guys get a copy of this so you can see that as well. But so review the committees. Let's be prepared to do committee appointments at a December meeting. So there's no lapse in business for any of those committees beginning January 1st. Okay, committee reports. Rachel? Anything?
Kathy's got it.
Okay. Glenn?
Kathy's got it.
Kim?
No, a lot of pressure.
Kathy?
I got it. No, I just didn't. I actually have two reports. I have one for Main Street Warsaw. I just want to make this announcement. They launched a downtown cultural arts district planning process in April, working with Designing Local, a national leader in urban planning and design, arts and cultural district planning. So after a significant customer engagement and planning process, we're now ready to release the plan to the community. Please join us for this announcement at 3:30 on Wednesday, November the 19th at the Chamber office. This will be a short presentation, and there will also be an open house afterwards from 4 to 6 if you guys have any questions. So I did send that to you guys so you have it, but I thought it'd just be nice because it's open to the public, so it'd be nice to announce that. So if people want to learn about that, it's a good opportunity. And then the second one I went to, this is the one I'm speaking on behalf of everyone. This is an abatement committee report, and I'm just going to read this. But it says that abatement committee of Dylan, Rachel, and I have been working over the last year to draft a new abatement policy. The policy currently in effect was adopted in 2014, and we felt it needed an update. As part of our process, we contacted all neighboring counties as well as other counties similar to our size and requested their abatement policies. We reviewed these documents and picked out what we thought would work best for our community. We've worked closely with our auditor as well as our attorney, and we think we're getting close to having this completed. We sent this document to KEDCO and our auditor for final review with the hopes that we will be able to send this out to the rest of the council by next Friday. Upon receiving it, I would request that you look it over, and if you see anything that needs to be changed, that you will either reach out to me directly or send a group email to the council so that we know what your comments are. Our hope is that we will be able to vote on this at our December meeting, so it will be a tool that our economic development team members can use beginning January of 26. A brief note about this document is that we wanted to go to a scorecard approach to abatements. For example, applicants receive points for things like the amount of dollars invested, the number of new employees hired, whether they provide health insurance and benefits, the amount of their wages, etc. There's a lot of categories. I'm just listing a few. Each category has points that they can earn, and the points are totaled, and that number decides what amount of an abatement for which they would qualify. We thought that this would streamline the process and make it less subjective and a more effective tool for our economic development partners. Again, I would ask that upon receiving the document, you review it and contact either the council as a whole or me directly with any comments that you might have. So just wanted to give you the heads up. Hopefully we'll send this out to you by next Friday so that you'll have 3 weeks to look it over and ask any questions that you may have concerning it, and give any input that you feel you need to give. And I'm gonna give you a heads up. Let's still be looking for it.
All right, thank you.
And I want to
Joe?
thank these guys because they've worked really hard.
Dave?
Well, Yeah,
Um,
we all have. We were hoping to finalize it by the end of the year, and it's been a year in process, so we're pretty excited about it.
Dave, you might be a volunteer for another committee since one of yours has opened up now.
Sorry.
You might be able to volunteer for another committee since one of yours is now going away.
Got fired. I know.
Yeah, huh? You got fired. Any other business come before the council from anyone? Your Honor?
So quickly, I promise. Judge Bauer and I are here on behalf of all of the judges, actually, to introduce you formally to James Henry. He is our new Community Corrections Director. James comes from the Indiana Department of Correction, where he served as a deputy warden at the South Bend Reentry Center. So he brings a wealth of experience and knowledge that's going to be well put to use here in our county. He also serves as a reserve police officer at the St. Joseph County Police Department. So welcome, James.
Welcome.
He's also serving on the board for, or the team for drug court and reentry court. And that gives me the perfect segue to invite you all formally to our very first graduation of our reentry court participant, Brandon Warren, who started this process in reentry court back in February, and he will be graduating on November 26th, 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to hold that ceremony in the Superior One courtroom, Justice Building. Short, not a long, fancy ceremony, but just recognizing all the efforts that he has made to rebuild his life, to recover from his addiction, to reintegrate into this community as a really successful contributing member of our community. So you are
awesome.
welcome, and I'd love to see any and all of you.
If you could provide Alyssa with the details so she could send them out to an email to us, so that we
Certainly,
have it secured. So we can
Absolutely.
Put that on our calendars.
I'd be so happy to do that.
Thank you,
And
Your
that's,
Honor.
did you say Superior? It's going to be a.
Superior One.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So the last thing I have is the County Fire Association is going to hold an informational meeting featuring Baker Tilly in a multi-purpose room across the street in the basement of Justice Building, November 24th at 6:30. Is to explore options to maintain fire and rescue services in our county in the event of township and government reform. So they're just kind of meeting, trying to get ahead of the game and understand, but they would like to extend an invitation to all council members to attend that meeting if you wish.
It's the 24th.
It's the 24th at 6:30 PM.
Oh. Is it?
Yeah, it's in your packet.
Okay.
Any other business before the council? If not, I will so entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dave, second by Rachel to adjourn. All those in favor? All right. Stick around, sign the documents, council people. Thank you all for attending tonight.
We're gonna do away with council government again.